Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the right level here. It looks like David's on one, and this is Jeff's. Let's take a look at David's here. All right, folks. Oh, this pack looks familiar. I know what this is from. All right, this is correct, David? Yeah, those build manifest files aren't that complex. It's not really all that bad to move them. Go ahead and take a look at the documentation. Oh, that's the wrong one. Don't want that one. All right, folks, we're going to spend a few minutes going ahead and testing this. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a pie window here, and I'm just going to give this a shot. And then teleport. Oops. Wait a second. What direction does that pop me? Okay. I can't even, hold on. We have audio, and I'm just deaf. No, it's not silent. Wait, did it do something? No, I'll leave the audio on. Oh, shit. I'm definitely hitting something. There's something here that's being hit. It's being treated as being taggable. Stair alignment chart. How would we fix this, folks? Should these be stairs or should this be a ramp? There's something there that has collision that detects that there's something happening there. This doesn't seem correct. This is why we test these, folks. My only guess is that the either the character is somehow shoved too far forward or the enemy is shoved too far back. Did we see that? Although I think I still can hit it. Because spear capsule, the two injury, the hitbox, the hurt box on the sword is pretty wide. Oops. potionless battle with difficult enemies. I don't know if I would have made that choice, but that's... Yeah, one potion. Yeah, I don't know about that. Take a look here. That's correct. This being movable might be a problem. I think a custom trigger is going to need to set up because this trigger is still triggering some of the collision for the arrow. That's okay. This from here. Yeah, I can't fire the arrows from the location here. Am I supposed to be up here? Testers, I encourage you to try all kinds of evil. Anything you got. Anything you think might have been overlooked. Ooh. Post-process volume. Okay. All right. It's actually fairly clean. A couple of things that I don't necessarily... Oh my gosh, I'm zooming in. A couple of things that I don't necessarily like. I'll give people another minute here to test it out. I need to go punch the 3D printer again. So, new test. Yep. Okay. I need two of me today. Well, obviously it's two of me today, but there's only one of me, so that's just kind of the way that it goes. Okay, so, well, despite its shortness, it actually feels relatively long. Again, this is using a lot of really good kind of like gates in terms of like it's providing some challenge in the way that, hey, you can't leave this area until you actually do this test, right? That test might be a combat test. That test might be, hey, you need to just go ahead and hit this, so on and so forth. So that's something to consider. You might want to be not necessarily. You might want to look at things like these types of levels when you are trying to increase content for an otherwise relatively short level. Again, you provide kind of two avenues or two arenas where you introduce the content early on with your enemies. I don't necessarily love the idea of a single recovery item right before a single recovery item that does not recover your health in a absolute, but at the same time, I can very clearly do it. There are a couple of issues with the way that the interactions for the trigger box are occurring, where you cannot shoot through them. That requires a little bit more QA. I forget what the arrows are actually looking at hitting. I'd have to actually look at it again and try to solve that. The other folks in the other class, one of the students solved that, but I don't think they ever ran into a situation where they had to shoot arrows like that or spawn things like that. The triggers seem to be detectable by the arrow, so that might be something in the enumerator, it might be something in the data table that it might be storing that it hits, maybe world static, maybe something like that. That's not necessarily that big of a deal, but that is something that is worth looking at, especially if you are, let's say, not necessarily concerned, but if that's something that is going to kind of slow down the way that you anticipate the players playing. Obviously, as soon as I moved that, I can see that right there. That's where it was stopping me. And I could definitely tell that the enemies are also hitting. So the projectiles globally are hitting those. I would focus on trying to fix these and trying to see what they actually do. You could feasibly despawn the box or move it temporarily once it's triggered, or move it up above and then have it move back down. That's another thing that's a kind of quick and dirty thing to do for that. But overall, what do you guys think? I see our proper kill volume is down there, so if our character falls, we die. I was only able to escape the level in one location, and that was right here. After the combat, I was able to jump from here to here. How do we feel? No, it's okay, David. It's up to you guys to kind of come up with that. To be fair, I'm not warmed up. What do you guys feel about the difficulty? Was it fine? I'm just being a big baby. It was probably fine. I took another crack at it. And, much like Obi-Wan had 2 cracks at Darth Vader and lost, technically. I took a couple cracks at it, and I thought it was all right. What do you guys think? All right, folks. The bulk of you guys are online today, so I'll leave to see some stuff from the online folks. Because my 2 in-person people are being very quiet. The player pawn, and the player pawn is what we derive, right? However, when characters are not possessed by the player and they're possessed by AI, that's called an AIC, or an AI controller. Basically, a controller is a programmatic actor. A controller is still an actor because we say that's an asset that allows it to possess a pawn. This is not us. We are the PC. We're the player controller. So what that means is all of the resolution of the behavior has to be handled by the controller. The pawn can receive information through other stimulus like AI sight, AI sound, etc. But the controller has to resolve what type of behavior it follows through, and the controller basically gets to drive how that works. You don't connect the state tree to the character, you connect the state tree to the controller, and then the controller kind of works through it. All right. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and work, at least because I'm going to go ahead and work in the blueprints. I have my generic level blueprints here. I'm going to go ahead and work next to the little muffin guy. So if you want to go ahead and add this to your favorites, go ahead. That way you can access it a little bit quicker. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I'm just going to go ahead and create a new VP class. And I'm going to go ahead and go into all classes. I'm going to call it AI controller. This is the base of setting up a behavior tree. All right, go ahead and create that. Okay, yeah, sorry, I can wait. Nice, just the straight up AI controller. You can see it on my board right now. Just the straight up AI controller. Is anyone having trouble finding it? We don't typically go down, well, we've gone down here in the past to kind of make those things. Remember, the base classes are the most commonly used classes. For esoteric classes, the stuff that is very specific to Unreal, you're going to want to go down here to find these classes. I'm going to go ahead and make an AI controller and hit select and go ahead and make that. I'm going to go ahead and call this AIC. I'm going to call this, I mean, it's called a muffin, so I'll call it muffin guy. All right, cool. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. I'm going to save this. Now that's a new actor. Let me go ahead and close the find results here so that I can go through here. All right. Let's go ahead and make sure that class defaults is selected.